Hey, and we are live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group coming to you live from my bar in Lakewood Ranch. You have heard the rumors, right? The market is slowing down. Prices are dropping. Is the real estate market in Florida going to crash? But let's talk about what's really happening. So I'm just going to give you the facts and the data, and then you can decide what you want to do or what you believe is really happening. But the numbers don't lie. The data does not lie. So let's talk about what is happening in the Florida real estate market as we speak. Do me a favor too, drop a comment down below. Are you planning on buying a home or selling a home in 2025? So let's talk about the statistics. I just pulled them up just before getting on here. Our multiple listing service is one of the largest in the area. I want to say it's like, I don't know, 19 counties, something ridiculous like that. All right, so let's talk about new listings. In the last 24 hours, there have been 247 properties to get listed. Not really a lot considering how big our market is. In the last 3 days, that number is 595 properties. And in the last week, in the last 7 days, 1,133 properties got listed for sale. Here's the numbers, though, I want you to pay attention to. We're talking about pending sales. The ones that are currently in escrow, buyer wrote an offer, seller accepted the offer. They are currently in pending. We don't know if they're going to sell, when they're going to sell, how much they're going to sell for. But in the last 24 hours, 246 properties went pending. That's less than the number of properties that got listed. In the last 3 days, 314 properties went into escrow and are pending. And in the last 7 days, only 689 properties. This is everything. This is condos, land, single family homes. 689 properties went pending. Let's talk about price adjustments. Price adjustments happen when the market rejects the current listing price and sellers have to adjust their price down. In the last 24 hours, 422 properties adjusted their price down. Now, on my live stream, I've been talking about that number for probably like a little over a year. That number used to be in the 400s for the last week, and now it's in the last 24 hours. In the last 3 days, 1,163 properties had to adjust their price down. And get a little of this. In the last 7 days, over 2,000 properties, sellers had to adjust their price down. 2,028 properties. That is massive. Let's talk about expired listings for 1 second, because that definitely gives you a great indication of what's really happening in the market. An expired listing happens when a property fails to sell in their allotted time of their listing contract with their agent. Generally speaking, that number is about a 6-month listing contract. Sometimes it's 12 months, depending on the property. It could be more, it could be less, but generally speaking, 6 months is probably the average. And in the last 30 days, this number is just astonishing. 3,034 properties failed to sell and came off of the market. Now, if I'm being realistic, there's one reason and one reason only that a property fails to sell. Because I always say a house that's situated on the highway will sell for the right price. Now, that's just a tough reality. I don't like it. You don't have to like it. That is just the reality. If a property fails to sell, it is always because of the price. Now, it has to show well. It has to be marketed well. It has to be in decent enough condition. But that number is astonishing. We actually expired our first listing, and I want to say like 8 years, 9 years. And that's just, it's hurtful. It's painful. It's painful personally. It's painful professionally, because, we get hired to sell a property and it fails to sell. Buyer and seller can't come to terms, and we're in a shifting market, and that is just reality. So if you're a buyer, let's talk about the interest rates, because we understand that a lot of reasons that buyers are not buying right now is because the interest rates are too high. That's all relative. It's high compared to what we have been used to, 2, 3, 4, 5%. But in the grand scheme of things, interest rates in the 6 are not extraordinarily high. We have short-term memory. But at the time of this recording, interest rates for a 30-year fixed is 6.78. For a 30-year FHA, it's 6.22. That is just reality. So if you're a buyer, is it a great time to buy? We hear that question all the time. My personal and professional opinion, I think it's an absolutely great time to be a buyer for a couple of reasons. One, all the statistics and the data that I just showed you. Properties are sitting on the market longer. They are doing lots of price adjustments. So if you're looking for a resale home, it might be a great opportunity to get a good deal, right? There's lots of competition, lots of homes listed for sale, lots of them sitting on the market. You get sellers who are motivated, you could find a good deal. If you're looking for new construction, especially in Lakewood Ranch, man, the builder incentives are just ridiculous. Now, my wife Jessica works exclusively with a buyer, so I'm going to put her contact information down below. If you were thinking about buying, you should definitely reach out. So in Lakewood Ranch, I want to say there's somewhere between 10 and 15 new construction neighborhoods currently under construction. And they have commitment and timeline to build. So even though the market has slowed, even though interest rates are high, these builders still have to build. So they are paying their staff, utilities, everything. All their costs don't stop because the market has slowed down. So they are offering phenomenal incentives. Some of them are cash toward closing, cash to buy down rates, cash at the design center. They're doing a lot of buy down on the rates. They actually have lots of leverage, so that they're doing low interest rates, or they're doing 2-for-1 buy downs, which means the interest rate is 1% for the 1%, but a 1% for the first year, and then for the second to 30th years, it's a different percentage, but still way below market value. So if you ask me personally and professionally, it is a great time to be a buyer. If you are a seller, you've got to be prepared for a changing and changing market. That is just the reality that we are in. You have to expect that your home's going to be on the market longer than you probably thought, longer than I probably thought. The market's shifting, and the goal is to find a buyer willing to pay you the most amount of money for your home. Expect that you're going to do price adjustments. I can't stand price adjustments, but the reality is the market decides and a buyer decides what that price is going to be. It could take longer than expected. That is just the reality. The days on the market, the days to go pending, are significantly up. The days for a property to close from start to finish, they are up. So it could take significantly longer than either of us had expected. So do me a favor, if you are a buyer, drop a comment down below. What's the biggest concern that you have right now? If you are interested in buying a home or selling a home, our contact information is down below. If you're interested to see what your home is worth in today's real estate market, I will put a link in the description down below to our home value site. Better yet, my phone number is down there. The best thing to do is to give me a call. So drop a comment down below. Do you believe the stats? Do you believe the data? Do you plan on listing this year? Do you plan on buying this year? That's what we want to know. Fast and to the point. Hey, by the way, if you are watching this and you live in Lakewood Ranch or in and around Lakewood Ranch, we are at an event tomorrow that is going to be awesome. This is taking place at the Greenbrook Adventure Park in Lakewood Ranch. It is the Irish Celtic Festival, 11:30 to 3. Food vendors, live bands. It is going to be packed. There's going to be booze. There's going to be vendors. We will be there. Look for us in our big purple tent. Looking forward to seeing you, to meeting you. Have a phenomenal weekend if we don't see you, and we will talk to you on the next live stream.